Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in today. I have the 1/18th scale Bugatti Mistral. This is made by Maisto, and it is obviously finished in this really interesting kind of a gloss yellow over black and yellow interior on a two-tone black and silver wheels. So let's kind of get into it, some of the features and details and my overall opinions on this particular car. So starting up at the front, I think they did a really cool job on the headlights. I mean, nothing, honestly, they just look just fine. I mean, they have the daytime running lights that come down through the front of the car. Obviously, the big horseshoe style grille that Bugatti is kind of famous for. This is a bit of a redesign. As you can see, the classic horseshoe grille on the Auto Art Chiron, but this is a little bit different. It has even bigger kind of air intakes towards the front on this side and the other side. They did do a pretty decent job, I think, on the grille print. This is just like kind of a print of it, though. You can't actually see anything through there, unfortunately, but I think they did a pretty good job on the grille. I think what gets interesting, though, is kind of the carbon fiber work that they did on this car. So obviously this whole front splitter is finished in carbon fiber. You know, it's just a textured carbon fiber, though. Actually, it's kind of a smooth finish, unlike some of the other Maisto models. This one doesn't kind of like have that grainy feeling to it. It's a bit more smooth. So moving on, there is a bit more details. There's a little bit of I guess another hood scoop right up here, but the engine's in the rear, so I'm not exactly too sure what that's for. Probably to cool something behind there. But anyways, the front does open, but kind of just, you know, lackluster details. There's not really much taken behind here. It's all just plastic in there, and there's not even any carbon fiber. So, you know, I guess it gets the job done, but nothing really to see back there. So I'll go ahead and close that up. It kind of is a split right here, kind of like on all Bugattis, as you can see. This split follows through with this new model, and there's a pretty nice windshield wiper that actually looks pretty decent. So moving down towards the side, as you can see, kind of these kind of like a 5-spoke kind of design wheel that are two-tone. But yeah, behind there we have, looks like drilled brake rotors, and then a yellow brake caliper with the Bugatti writing down the side of it, and then the EB logo right there in the center cap. So pretty nice details on the wheels. I think they look pretty good. Moving down towards the side, this all is finished in carbon fiber, the same as the front. It doesn't really have that, well, this one does kind of have the textured feel more so than the front, but it kind of just has a round belly underneath there. As you can see, it just follows through. But I think it looks pretty decent. Pretty good looking car. So coming down towards here, we have kind of like this body line that has the kind of engine air intake towards the side. And I think they did a pretty good job on that. There is also the, I can't really remember what flag this is. I probably should know. So let me guys know, or let me know what that is in the comments below if you guys don't mind. I forget what countries this comes from. But the head or the mirrors themselves also look pretty decent. They're finished with carbon fiber on the top, and they kind of have this yellow underneath it that matches the body paint of the car, as you can see. So yeah, there is another EB logo back here on the side. It's finished in chrome, so that looks pretty decent. But now coming towards the rear of the car, as you can see, I have the wings set up right now, but it does come down. So all you gotta do is just literally pull it up and it comes up. So that is pretty nice. I think they did a really good job though on these tail lights. As you can see, there's a bit of a, you know, interesting design going on, but it's not too bad. So looking down here, the grills kind of follow through. Again, just kind of the fake mesh grills that Maisto uses, but I think it looks pretty decent on this model. On the rear taillight itself, it does say Bugatti written in there, and then there is the other EB logo sitting on top of the wing. There is a pretty big diffuser. As you can see, all of it is finished in carbon fiber, so it looks pretty decent. Looking at the rear engine bay itself, as you can see, we're exposed to the W16 engine that Bugatti has been famous for. The rear deck lid is also covered in carbon fiber. Unfortunately, this does not come up in any way, so this is kind of all the engine detail that you get. As you can see, it does say 1600 horsepower, or that's what that 1600 stands for on the right side, and on the left side you can see the WB, and then the EB's sitting right under that, and I think it even says Bugatti on each side of these like chrome strips right here, so that is kind of cool. But yeah, that's kind of the exterior of this model. I think it does look really nice. I'm a fan of these Mistrals, but I'll kind of get into my overall opinions about it towards the end of the video. So moving in here, we can open up the interior. And as you can see with the two-tone yellow seats, I think it looks really good. There kind of is a pinstripe that runs down the middle of the car, and then we have the Mistral logos on the headrests themselves. Behind the seats, there's a bunch of carbon fiber finish, and that is really nice detail. It follows through the center console, and then as you can see, we can take a look at the dashboard itself and the steering wheel, which I think looks really nice. And yeah, it's kind of the interior of this model. I think they did a really excellent job on it, to be honest. But just overall, I mean, as you guys know, if you can get these Maistos at Sam's Club or Costco, they're about $18 now after tax. And, you know, you can't really beat that price. I mean, we're talking about models these days costing upwards of $100, and to get a model for $18 now is incredible, especially like a pretty exclusive model like this Mistral. I think kind of my one gripe about it is I think the proportions look just a little bit weird, and it's kind of exacerbated in this color. I don't know what it is, but for some reason when I look at the Chiron and I look at the Mistral, something just doesn't feel right about this model. I don't really know what it is. I mean, I'll kind of lined up these two just so you can get a size comparison, and I think they are pretty similar in size, as you can see. Maybe this is just a tad bit longer, but I don't know. For some reason, something just feels a little bit off with this model for me. For some reason, I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is. I did notice, though, towards the front, there is a bit of like paint chipping, and this was a brand new model, so I think that it's kind of just a little factory defect, and I'm not too sure, but you know, it's not really a big deal, especially for what you pay for these models. I'd probably give this particular one maybe a solid 6, maybe even 5 out of 10, just because, you know, it's a Maisto quality model, and there's nothing really particularly crazy or special about it. I'm not really a big fan of this color. I would love to see a black one. I think that would look really good, but in yellow, it's just kind of a mid-tier model for me. I'll probably end up letting this one go eventually in the future if I can get a better color, but for now, this is the Mistral, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a ton of more reviews coming out, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Bye.